Well, Guenther, it's great to see you honouring your commitments. I know a lot's happened in your life in the last couple of weeks. Listen, it took me by surprise, the news that you and Haas would be parting ways. I suppose my question for you is, were there any discussions that Gene didn't see you as the man to lead on the team towards the end of last season? Was this on the horizon at all? Could you have anticipated this coming to pass?
No, obviously nobody was happy with the result in 2023, but I didn't see this coming. But I know that the renewal of my contract was coming up, and then when a renewal is coming up, it can be that it's not getting renewed.
But I mean, there was no target set for you, for example, towards the end, in terms of finishing higher than you were or with more points than you had.
No, but a target is always. I mean, the target should be not being last.
Okay, fair enough. How was it communicated to you, Guenther? I mean, you've more or less founded this team with Gene's investment. Was it a phone call that Guenther explained to you the way things were going to be?
Yeah, it was a phone call from Gene Haas to me. I was in Italy on my Christmas break, and he called me up between Christmas and New Year.
And your relationship with him now, I mean, that's what people assume, maybe it had gone sour over the past season or so. How would you sum it up?
I would say he was not discontent, and in the end he owns the team, and he can make this decision, and I have to respect that, and obviously I do. So, but I think it was 10 years, and it was okay. If he doesn't want to continue with me, he's free to do that.
Fair enough. Listen, what I've been reporting is that you wanted more investment at the factory. You didn't see how the team could progress, especially with others, your rivals on the grid, spending more, the likes of Williams, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo going to become Audi, and Gene being resistant to that. Is that a fair assessment of where the two of you were at?
I would say what is a fair assessment is when you look at the other teams where they are going since the budget cap came in place. A lot of people, a lot of teams, all of the teams invested in the infrastructure, and they invest in it. Therefore, it's not spending money; it's investing to use the budget cap, the operational budget cap, at its best as possible. That you can put money in to make the car go quick. And some people started straight away in 2020, 2021. Some people started last year, but everybody's doing it. And I think that was one of the things. I look at the other ones and suggest what needs and should be done.
So is your concern that Haas cannot make progress? Yes, I know you were optimistic before Christmas that you could fight maybe at the upper echelons of the midfield, but looking ahead in the next period, that the team will not be equipped to be competitive unless more money is spent?
I really cannot comment on that because I'm not there anymore and I don't know what is happening, so I need to be impartial about that one.
Fair enough. But what about the factory then at Banbury at the moment? You wanted changes there, and what the team will inherit post you, have they got a job on their hands if Gene Haas talks about wanting better results to get those better results?
I think he will have his ideas how to get the better results, but they have nothing to do with me because obviously I didn't fit in his future plan anymore, so I don't know what the idea is in the factory, in the people and in the investments.
Okay, listen. You started this team. It was more or less your idea. Yes, Gene was the investor. In many people's eyes, we wouldn't have a team now apart from the way you were able to source finance around the COVID time. But before that as well, how do you feel about the way this has been handled on a personal basis? Were you owed something better than this, especially the way that the media release came out, which was a very brief thank you for what you did?
Yeah, obviously, I think without me in 2020, wouldn't have been around anymore. But Gene owns the team, so Gene Haas owns the team. So in the end, he's free to do what he wants. I cannot accuse him of anything. I can accuse him, but it doesn't do anything because he can make his decisions. He's free to decide. So I'm actually fine. My life will continue. I will have fun. I will stay around. So something will pop up, and I'm doing good. And in the end, a good period in my life came to an end, but maybe an even better one starts.
I don't want to put my finger in the wound, but I do want you to give you a right of reply. He did use the word embarrassing for the results that came across last year. I know you weren't happy with the results, but listen, the team tried its best. You tried its best. Was that the right word to use?
I think everybody can choose his words, but you need to think about the people which work for you and put a lot of effort in. And obviously, when you say these things, in the end, you have to live with the consequences.
There's a point of view that maybe Gene Haas or people at the factory didn't like your celebrity, thought it maybe overshadowed the team or maybe the owner of the team. Were you conscious of that ever?
No, not really, but I think if thinking back now, it could have, but in the end that celebrity gave the team a lot of exposure, brought in good, very good sponsors like MoneyGram because they liked that, because they could use that, and there is always positives and negatives to anything, so maybe there were some positives and somebody brought up the negatives, and this is things you cannot always plan for it because I was not out there to try to look for celebrity. It happened to me, and all the people which know me know that. So I'm okay with it.
And you were conscious that it benefited the team. That was the bottom line.
Absolutely. I didn't try to make something out of it. I didn't get up in the morning to be a celebrity. I get up in the morning to work, and but I think it worked a lot in favor of the team because without that, maybe it would have been closed before.
So many highs over the time at the Haas, fifth place in the Constructors, remarkable, and that wasn't just, at the start, that was with teams that were, working hard. Do you have a particular high moment? I mean, or a particular, I suppose the pole position with Kevin was incredible, but what were the highlights for you?
I think for me the highlights was when we went out testing in the first year in 2016 Barcelona, when a lot of naysayers were there. They said this will never work, how you guys do this, and it worked. And then finishing in the points in our first race in 2016, and then obviously when Kevin had the pole in 2022, that was another great moment for the team because it was at the end of a pretty tough season. Getting into pole, that kept everybody going for the months over the winter.
It was like a win for us, I remember Roman saying at the end of that race. Okay, what about for you? I mean, you have some time now, I guess. If another team principal job came up in F1, I mean, are the competitive juices still there to take that on?
I mean, I have got still a lot of in me, but I'm not in a hurry. I'm not desperate. I want to enjoy now my time with my family, and there will good things come. I mean, I always say one door closes, at least two other ones open. So just wait which ones and pick hopefully the right one to do the next thing. But in the moment, I just want to sit back and look a little bit and do things I missed to do the last 10 years, like staying with my family and doing some travel on my own time and watch F1.
Maybe with a Sky microphone in your hand. Listen, I probably should have asked this earlier, but I mean, you speak to Gene, you would have spoken to Gene. A lot of people are saying, well, maybe is this the moment? Guenther's gone, maybe it's time ownership changed. Do you sense he is minded to sell the team at all? Do you think that's a potential future for the team, maybe changing ownership? People are talking about Andretti possibly buying it.
I have no idea. I'm not involved in any of these talks. I mean, you need to ask Gene Haas.
I do. Well, listen, Guenther, you keep smiling, you've got a good business. What about the response, finally, you've had from people here? I mean, the response on that stage, you can see the image now of that must really lift you.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. I mean, it shows that I haven't done everything wrong, no, but I appreciate, and I always appreciate people, and therefore I think they take a liking in me, because I always say we are here, or I was here for the fans because I'm not here anymore in Formula One in the moment, so, but no, it's cool, I find it cool, and I enjoy the moment when people like what I say them.